Perik Yud Zayin, Mishnah Yudalad. This Mishnah, I'm going to make this shir in two parts. Part A, I'm going to go through the Mishnah and explain it, as hopefully I've done in the previous Mishnahs. Part B, I'm going to tell you a vort, a Dvar Torah on this Mishnah. Most incredible, beautiful Dvar Torah. You can manage to understand the Mishnah without it, but this vort is absolutely mind-blowing in its brilliance. Let's do the Mishnah, part A. Says the Mishnah, V'yesh b'mer shenivra b'yom harishon tumah. The Rambam has a different way of learning this Mishnah from the other Rishonim. It's a more complicated way, but we're going to do the parish of the Rav and the Rush, which is as follows. There are things that were created on Sunday which have tumah. In other words, this Mishnah is saying, this is a Mishnah dealing with kelim. When you make a keli, we know there are various materials that you can use. Some materials are tomei and some materials are tor. However, says the Mishnah, there were things created on the first day which, if you were to make kelim from it, tumah can apply to those kelim. For instance, classic case, on the first day we know, Bereshis Elikim, Bereshis bara Elikim, it's a Shemayim v'Sa'aretz, the Kshpocha made the earth, and therefore if you make kelim from earth, turn it into cheres, of course, it's mekabel tumah. Similarly, on the first day, metals were made. If you make kelim from metals, they're mekabel tumah. So on Sunday, there's tumah. B'sheni, ein bo tumah. The creations that Kadosh Baruch Hu made on Monday, there's no tumah. Kadosh Baruch Hu on Monday made the rakia and the mayim, the difference between the mayim elyonim and mayim tachtonim, and you cannot make kelim from these things, and they're not mekabel tumah. There's no tumah on Monday. B'shlishi, Kadosh Baruch Hu made the trees. And we all know, eitz comes from trees, a kli eitz is mekabel tumah. So b'shlishi, yesh boi tumah. B'revi'u v'chamishi, ein bohem tumah. On Wednesday, Kadosh Baruch Hu made the sun and the moon and the stars. And if you make kelim, this is the Meforish Mishnah, if you make kelim from moon rock, anything from one of the planets or stars or moons, no tumah. V'chamishi, the things made on Thursday, which you've had in the Mishnah before, we mentioned the previous Mishnah, anything made from fish and birds, from the skin, from the bones, do not have a din of klei etzem and klei oir. They are tar legamri. Anything made from fish and birds. No tumah at all on Wednesday and Thursday. Says the Mishnah, however, although I've told you that, there are cases where things made from a bird are tamim midrabanon. Gzeira. Chutz, there are two exceptions. Chutz miknaf ha'oiz. Oiz is a bird known as an osnia, which some people say is an albatross or an osprey. If you make a keli from the wing of this bird, it's a big keli, it's a sturdy wing, therefore it could easily get mixed up with other klei etzem. People don't always recognize it as a bird wing, therefore the word goizer tumah drabanon because it's similar to other klei etzem. Similarly, ubeitzis namis hamatzupe, an ostrich egg which is covered. The Chazon Ish has a long piece to try to understand what is it covered with, but I think Pashup Pshat in the Mishnah is, normally if you make a keli from an egg, it's not a very sturdy object, the egg will break, it's not a keli, it's not mekabel tumah. And similarly an ostrich egg, because you can tell it's an egg. However, if you cover it, and now you can't tell it's an egg, because you've plated it with something, and therefore it could easily be mixed up with another similar looking klei etzem. So therefore the Rabbanon goes a tumah midrabanon. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, he argues on the knaf ha'ois. He says, "Ma nishtana knaf ha'ois mikol ha'knafayim." There's no difference between the wing of an osprey or an albatross compared to other wings. It's all tar, but under the normal rule that anything made from a bird is tar. This last bit was a little aside. Although we say midaraisa, anything made on Thursday, any keli made from materials which were created on Thursday is no tumah. The Mishnah is having a little aside to tell us those things which are made on Thursday, and yet mekabel tumah midrabanan. Then the Mishnah goes back to its original theme. V'chol shenivra b'yem shishi tomei. Shishi created with the animals, the chayes, the shrotzim, the behemoths, and the odom. And of course, if you make kelim from the oir of an odom or from the atzomois of behemoths, and therefore that's called a klei etzem and a klei oir. And therefore Friday is a day of tumah. So just to recap, the days of tumah are Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. That's the Mishnah Yudalid. Now I want to come to part B and tell you a Moira de Kavod from one of the great Hasidic Rebbes known as the Yid HaKodesh, the Yehudi HaKodesh of Pshischa. he says, let's look at the days of Tumah. The days of Tumah are Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. Yom Kippur, which of course is the ultimate day of Tahara, Yom Kippur, amazingly, cannot fall on Sunday, it cannot fall on Tuesday, and it cannot fall on Friday. Those are the only 3 days Yom Kippur cannot fall. It can fall on all the other days, because Yom Kippur says, it's a day of Tahara, and therefore Yom Kippur is not Chal on a day of Tumah, so therefore those days of Sunday, Tuesday, Friday are not days where Yom Kippur can fall. Yid HaKodesh then adds, he says, however, there's one day which is actually in a way greater than Yom Kippur, and that of course is Purim. Purim is higher than Yom Kippur because, as opposed to Yom Kippur, which has to be Chal on a day of Tahara, he says Purim actually is a day more powerful than Yom Kippur. Purim has the effect, it has the ability to turn Tumah into Tahara. V'na'afoich Purim turns things around. The Chazal Darshan miyitin Tahar mitome. That was the whole ness of Purim. It turned everything around. So Purim is actually not scared of Tumah. Now let's look at the days that Purim can be Chal. Purim can be Chal on Sunday. So Dafka on a day of Tumah. B'shlishi yesh bo Tumah, Purim can fall on a Tuesday. And of course Friday, we've all had Purim on a Friday. So Purim is actually Chal on 3 days, Sunday, Tuesday and Friday, just the reverse of Yom Kippur. However, there's one day of the week where both Purim and Yom Kippur can both be Chal, and that's Thursday. Purim is Chal on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is Chal on Thursday, and so can Purim be Chal on Thursday. That's why the Mishnah sticks on Thursday. We've got a little bit of the Mishnah which says Thursday there's no Tumah. Then it brings a chutz miknafa ois ubeitis namas hamatzupa. So the Yid HaKodesh explains as follows. Yom Kippur, which is a din in the Torah, it's a din d'oraisa, works with principles d'oraisa, and mid-d'oraisa, Thursday, is a day of Tahara, as the Mishnah says, v'chamish ein b'em tumah. That's why Yom Kippur can be Chal on Thursday. But Purim dafka has to be Chal on a day of Tumah. But Purim is a din d'Rabbanon. That's why Purim is Chal on Thursday, because mid-d'Rabbanon, Thursday is a day of Tumah, because the Knafa Oiz, Beit Namas HaMatzupah, so mid-d'Oraisa, Thursday is a day of Tahara, mid-d'Rabbanon it's a day of Tumah, and that's why Kippur and Purim are both Chal on a Thursday, and I believe that's why the Mishnah sticks this din in here, because it's actually relevant to the way Yom Kippur and Purim is Chal. Mamash Divrei Pella, fantastic thought. And Mitzvah will move on to Mishnah Tesvav.